welcome to Fortunes Island Down Under. We've had a hiatus. Welcome back. Well, if you haven't liked and subscribed already to the channel, please do so. We're back for another season of it, and I am buzzing for this one. But lads, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty fucking good. Every season starts with optimism, doesn't it? But I think at the moment there's even more reason to be more optimistic than usual. It's remains to be seen how it all fucking pans out, but it's certainly going into it with a lot of positivity and optimism.
Yeah. We've got new players in the fucking shed before the last week of the transfer window, haven't we? So it's actually very, very different feeling. So it's been great.
And more importantly, we've got a new manager.
Yes, we fucking do. Yes, we do. How good is that?
And do you know what?
Go on.
I was going to say, and that to me is as exciting as the new signings. Just knowing that there's something different coming. We're not here knowing exactly what's going to happen, who the 11 are going to be. Same old Moyes, predictable shit. It's a bit of an unknown, and it's exciting.
Yeah, I agree, mate. It's one of them where we've been crying out for it, and now I've got to the point where it's like there's loads of them now. There's loads of newness this time. Like I don't know if I'm scared. I don't know if I'm excited. I'm definitely not angry. I'm definitely not pissed off like I was all last season. But this is a new era, and I'll tell you what, J-Lo was a little bit of a managerial change that I was like, am I getting behind this? Am I excited by it? Because we was obviously done with Amorim and Arnie Slot at times, and then we got Julian Lopetegui, and I was like, I don't know. And then the more I looked into it, and the more I saw that his style of play, I was like, if Tim Stark can get this right and get these players in the door, then I think there's every chance that he can succeed. And oh my God, what a fucking window! No,
right, hasn't it?
What did you think? What have you thought out of 10? What would you give the window so far, Nath?
Oh, it has to be the best that I've seen in recent history. So it's got to be up there, 9.5, 10. Without seeing any of them really sort of play and how they're going to gel in, just on paper, it's got a good mix of sort of proven players. It's got a mix of people that are an investment into the club, and if they come off, we're going to make money out of them as well, which is really pleasing. But I watched the Celta Vigo game on the plane on the way up to Darwin, and I wasn't too upset by it all. Like the way that they were trying to possess the ball, and the new signings coming in were sort of doing a reasonable job as well. So, if that's sort of how we're going to play, I'm going to be excited to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Matty, what do you reckon out of 10, mate? What do you reckon on the transfer window?
It's definitely a solid 8 or 9. I think selfishly, the only thing I would have liked to have seen was probably another fucking striker, like another out and out goal scorer. They're very, very hard to get. So, you can forgive them for not doing it. But, I mean, that would have just been the icing on the cake. What's the fella who was at Villa? I mean, I don't know too much about him, but if we got him in, or if we do get him in, and that's just a whole fucking other level. But, yeah, the fact that we've got 8, and, of those 8, 5 of them are fucking really, really exciting.
Well, let's go through them. Yeah. So obviously we got League One. Wes. Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting one. I'll give you that. But he's going to help.
It does a job,
help in the training. He's going to help in the training. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Kilman. So for me, I thought he was going to come in as captain. I thought he was going to take over the reins. He was J-Lo's man. That was it. Yeah. He's going to lead. He's going to lead from the front. But I always wanted Bowen to be captain. Yeah. So I'm buzzing with the news at that. But what do you think of Kilman?
I think he could be good. He's a decent player, and he's obviously got that short history with J-Lo, but he's obviously seen something that he liked. From everything I've seen and read about him, he needs a good partner with him. I don't think he's the most. He's not the most vocal or leadership style on the pitch. I believe he offers a lot in the changing room, which is good. He's coming for a bit of stick pre-season with some of his play, but look, I think he's decent. He's probably a better option than what we had. So yeah, it remains to be seen, but I think in the right system, he could be good.
Yeah, Nate, what do you reckon, mate?
I thought he was all right. Like, I mean, look, I've only really seen the Celta Vigo game, and from what I saw in that, he wasn't too bad. He wasn't too bad. There's obviously a couple of times there, like both goals came from when we were a little bit disorganised. I don't think he had really nothing he could have done for the second goal. The first goal, he was a little bit in no man's land. But look, he went from left side in the first half. Second half, he goes onto the right side. He's obviously not too bad with the ball at his feet. So, as I guess the first team gets into play, who make better positions forward for him to play a ball, I think he's going to be all right. Like, it wasn't a first game where you sit there and just go, "Fuck, what have we bought?"
Yeah. What do you think, Kingy?
I like him. I've got a couple of Wolves mates who I think they're just more happy just to give me a bit of shit about it, but they was like, thanks for the money sort of thing. But I mean, he's come from non-league football. He's come up the ranks. He was a captain of a Premier League club. He weren't exactly sought after by many clubs, to be honest. But J-Lo wanted him. He was the man that he wanted, and he got him. And Tim got him. And then we'll go on to the other centre back, right? This is someone who's played for Barcelona. Juventus wanted him. United wanted him. Mr. Tedibo, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. You've just said, Matty, Kilman might need someone next to him. What better person than a world-class centre-back like that? Like,
Tedibo's different gravy, and he's quality. When I saw that we were hijacking the move and getting him, that fucking really turned me on. He's ready to go. I don't think there'll be any sort of embedding period with him. There might be, but look, he's young. He's got pedigree. He's got fucking everything. I still can't pinch myself that we got him, to be honest.
I mean, when I saw that picture of him on the jet this time, right, I was like, it looks like a James Bond villain has gone and kidnapped him away from Juventus.
It's been getting some use, hasn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah. What would you rate that out of 10? That transfer?
Oh, that's a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. Especially when you look at Kilman, and Kilman's great, but he's coming in and he's either playing with Agard or Dinos, and we know that those two are good on the day, but they're not always the most reliable. But then you look at Kilman and Tedibo now with those two as backup. That's a different fucking proposition altogether.
Yeah,
and it'll raise everyone else. It'll raise Agard. It'll raise Dinos. So it's something we've been lacking, having more than one or two quality centre halves.
Yeah. I mean, right. So our next defender that we've brought in is our latest signing. We'll go from back to forward. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I realised he was only 26. It feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah,
right?
He has been around for ages.
Yeah. For me, everyone keeps going on about how he can't go forward. We don't fucking need him to.
Yeah.
Look at what we've got in front of us now. I say it to the boys at football. Fucking, there's some people who are made to carry the piano to the piano player. Yeah. and he's one of them. Yeah. So for me, I think he's a cracking signing. I think he's one of the best tacklers in the Premier League. All my Man United fan messages, mates messaging me saying, "What a signing you've just got there." Nath, what did you think of that one, mate?
Yeah, pretty impressed with that one overall. Like, it seemed to fucking drag out a fair bit, and he was kind of being a little bit selfish towards himself. But I guess at the end of the day, like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? So it sort of made sense, but you knew it was just going to take forever. But like, I remember him like back in the Palace days, and when it was him and fucking Zaha, like they were the two players that you just they frustrated the shit out of you because they're both so good. Right, so to have one of them in our team now, I'm glad. So
he was a £50 million player. Like,
there's
no reason he can't get back to them heights from 26 years old.
Oh, for sure. Mate, if he had another year on his contract, that transfer fee would have doubled easily.
It wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
So
and he's fit,
I'm pretty happy with
and
that
he's
one.
mobile. Like he's not a slouch at all. And
Yeah.
we've a lot of the time our fullbacks, they've been decent, but they've been tired. They've been leggy. They've not been able
good
to
without
get
being
around.
great, right? There's not a lot of upside to them. So it's nice to have a player who going, well, you're in your prime, so we're going to see at least 3 or 4 really good years out of you. Like, you look at Soufal, like we got him, and now he's on the decline. He's going, he's been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's good to have someone you can see for the next couple of years, I reckon.
There's one thing that I would love to have happened, right? Is that we got rid of Soufal this summer and kept Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. It makes sense. I don't see
Soufal being very happy about being on the bench.
I don't know. I think he's realistic, and I think he'll probably still get reasonable game time. But you're right about Johnson. That was we shouldn't have let him go. If it was a logical choice between the two of them, you'd keep Johnson and let Soufal go. But I don't mind that Soufal's still there. I think he's earned it.
Yeah. And then we go to the centre of the pitch. Obviously, we've had Alvarez come up with a bit of an injury from Copa America. So we needed someone to sort of steady the ship. And we brought in Rodriguez. What are we thinking?
Just another one that it's just brilliant. It's just fucking brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
he was one of those players in the Celta Vigo game where you just look at it just going, he's not doing anything that's outstanding, but like that's kind of what you want out of your defensive midfielders, just mopping up in front of the two centre backs. Like he put in a couple of decent passes, but a lot of the time he's just playing that link role, happy to sit. Let Paqueta be the star of the show, and you need those players in your team. So he didn't look like he was out of his depth by any stretch of the imagination. So it's I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen
we've been lucky with Alvarez. Alvarez has been all right. He's done well with injuries. He's been consistent, but there's a major reliance on him. When he hasn't played last season, it's been noticed. And, with the two of them there, however it shapes up and however the lineup is, whether it's both or one or whatever, it just gives more stability.
Yeah, it does. It does. But even Alvarez is back on the grass already. So, it'd be good to see. Like, you look at both of those players and you go, well, if we need to play, a double pivot, like there's two fantastic options there that are very defensively minded, clean up, and know that they're connected.
And there's two that I really don't want to see ever again.
Who's that, Kingy? Tell me more.
Lurch and the one-legged bandit that kind of can't put a fucking free kick in the top corner. I don't really want to give it away too much, but I never want to see them two sitting there together. If we don't have
absolutely.
Anyway, we'll get back to that, but a bit of housekeeping. We are going to go through the comments later. As you know, we've had a bit of a time off. We haven't jumped on all the transfer shows and transfer news and pre-gamed for friendlies and stuff. So we're going to do a little bit of transfer news and stuff like that now, but we didn't want to bombard you all with it during the summer or our winter. Depends which way you look at it. But a little bit of housekeeping. But we will come back to the comments and stuff later on. So if you stick around. And then we've got a little Brazilian wonder kid called Guilherme.
Yep.
So he's been likened to Rivaldo, who if anyone's old enough to remember, which I know you two definitely are, I do too. Lovely bicycle kick. But I think he's one for the future. That's a potential one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just good to have him on board, isn't it? Like you never know with kids that old whether they're going to make it, whether they're not. But the good thing is where he's coming in, he's not going to have the pressure on him. You know, we've signed kids in the past where they've come in and everything's been riding on them doing well, and it fucking puts all the pressure on. He can come in and have 20 minutes here and there and fucking settle in. And look, I don't know too much about him other than what I've read, but there's fucking potential there. So it's just another feather in the cap, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely,
mate.
I agree. I didn't think he didn't do that much in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the game, but it's a preseason game. It's fucking dead. People just getting minutes in their legs sort of thing. But you sit there and just go, well, if you're anything like, I guess, your potential, then you can come on for 15 minutes at the end of the game when, maybe Paqueta comes off or something like that. It's nice to have, at least we're not putting a fucking square peg in a round hole.
Definitely. And then, as we do, we always like to dip into the championship. So I was very chuffed with the Somerville signing. I watched a fair bit of Leeds last year, and he's electric. Like, his feet are so good. The one thing that really I get from his play is his weight of pass. His weight of pass is that is so underrated in football. Some people hit it, overhit it so much, or put too much fucking sauce on it, and it goes out of play, and it's just fucking frustrating. But that kid knows exactly how much weight to put on that ball, and just to put it into a striker's feet, and that's what I'm so looking forward to seeing from him.
Yeah. And he can score goals as well. He got 23 and 77 for Leeds. That's 1 in 3.
Yeah.
That's decent for a striker these days. So, he's
I can't remember what his assists were, but I know they were high as well.
Yeah, really excited about him.
You don't just fake your way to Championship Player of the Year, do you? So
no.
It's a really nice feather to have in his cap. Like when he came on in the Celta Vigo game, he felt it looked like he was a class above everyone else. Like he had that little bit of extra energy. His touch was sharp. So it'll be good to see him play in the Prem next this weekend. One thing I did notice, like I watched a little bit of him, but then as soon as we sign him, you go watch fucking few highlight reels and things like that. He just reminds me of almost that opposite of Bowen. Like everything when Bowen came into our team, it was run down the line, cut it back, hit it on your left. And I noticed a lot of that in his highlight reels. It's run down the left, cut it back, smack it with your right, and what a fucking right boot. But you see Bowen now, like he can hit left and right, and he's a little bit more versatile. So you'd hope that with time, Somerville can sort of grow into that, so he doesn't just become that predictable. All he's going to do is run down the left, cut it back, and then hit it with his right. So a
bit like Ben Rama.
Yeah.
Like how he becomes so predictable. No, but what I mean is he becomes so predictable, and that was it. I think that was to do with management. If I'm being honest.
But that's the beauty of Bowen, isn't it? Like he's actually worked that out and gone, right, I've got to go knuckle down and become, like just as dangerous on the opposite side of my body. And I hope Somerville can do that as well.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. And I think he can. I think he's got the minerals to do it for sure. And then we got Zifulkrug. I wasn't sure because, and this is an honest fucking conversation. I was like, is that what we need? And then the more I looked at it, I was like, look what he's got around him: Caduce, Paquetá, Bowen, Somerville, like Guilherme when he comes in. Like all he needs to do is be that link-up play. Yeah. He needs to do that Harry Kane role, but not in his own fucking half. That ain't gonna work. As long as he don't drop that deep, we'll be all right. But I think his interlink play will be fucking outstanding in this team with the amount of legs that he's got around him.
And he can finish as well. Like,
can't take a fucking penalty.
Some of his goals, and I wasn't overly excited when I saw that we were going for him and we got him. But like you, King, the more that I think about it, I think he's going to be fucking great. I actually think he's probably going to be one of the most successful signings this season because of what he's got around him, and he's just, you know, we've relied on Antonio for so fucking long. This guy can obviously finish fucking 10 times better than Antonio ever could. So I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be
if anyone's watching and wants to go and have a little look, 442 did a really good YouTube video on Full Crew on what he's about, and they did the different statistics on him and Antonio and why they're so different, and they showed the difference in ball retention, like hold up play, headering, shooting, short range passes, long range passes, and I found it fascinating how much Full Crew absolutely pissed all over Antonio.
Wiped the floor with him, yeah.
Antonio on his day is always going to be brilliant, but he's 34, and we need change. So
yeah, and if Antonio stays, it changes the dynamic for him as well, doesn't it? Like we spoke all last season about bring him on with 15 to go when everyone's fucked, and he'll fucking steamroll people. So
how different are going to be? How different will that be though when we're starting higher up the pitch to do that as well, instead of him having to hit it 60 yards and then run after his own ball? Like, he's actually going to have 15 minutes or 20 minutes at the end where he's going to be in positions to actually make a difference in the game, where he's not going to be in our half having to kick and run. You know what I mean? It's going to be a different system. So you're right, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how he adapts, right? Because, you know, as much as like he would, you know, he used to complain about feeding off scraps all the time. I think that kind of suits him. Like he in the preseason game, like he I wouldn't say he looked all the way out of his depth, but he did look a little bit confused and like sort of where to run, you know, and how to sort of position himself a few times. So I'm hoping that he can adapt to that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're right. He is old, and we needed a change for it. But he's going to get. I think he's going to get a little bit frustrated with you know not being the number one anymore. But hopefully that works in a positive way, and he looks after himself and he's fit and tidy. And
one thing that I'm really looking forward to that we never had for the last 4 or 5 years is actual squad rotation. We've always spoken about how Antonio is better after he's had a few games out or he's had a break, and he has 2 or 3 games where he's fucking shit out and then he dies a death. I think that J-Lo will use the squad, and I think he'll use it effectively. So, you know, having all these players is great, but I think it's not going to be what we've been used to, where it's the same 11, 12 getting run into the ground. Antonio and other players like him, even Souček, even JWP, when they are utilised, and they won't be starters, I hope they're not going to be starters, but when they are, they'll actually have purpose, they'll have a fucking role to play.
Yeah. I think with what I'm really looking forward to, because we only done this channel last season. That was our first season. And it was just constant every week. It was the same chat. And it was like we could have just done like all the games, copied and pasted them. And even we said at the end, like, fucking hell.
It was getting hard work, wasn't it?
What can we talk about? Whereas now we've got a manager that wants to either go to a back 3, back 4. Like we might play 2 up top. It's going to be so different. The dynamic's going to be so different to even talk about football. And that's the nicest thing about this now. Like, it's not going to be drab. It's not going to be boring. Like, I was sick of getting angry last year. And
I think the other positive, even if it's not from a footballing point of view, you know, like you've got a guy who knows his role is to get in there and make the team work. He can have a preference to who he wants in terms of the style of player, but you can see that Tim's role is to find the players and bring them in, right? Now, if they meet the brief, just fuck off and work with them, right? And now we've got most of those players have been in for like at the very least a week, right? Up to 4 or 5 weeks, right? So they're getting ingrained into the style. We're not into this space where we've got this stubborn old cunt at the top that just wants that one player, and it takes, the whole fucking transfer window to get it done.
Which stubborn old cunt
we've got to wait 4 weeks to fucking embed him in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just excited about that we will have like the remnants of our squad is already there. We just and they're already bedded in. So you're going to see them have an impact straight away, I think, which is pleasing. Not fucking 7 weeks in.
Oh, definitely. So anyone watching in the chat, just chuck some questions in as well, and we'll star them, and we'll get back to them in a bit. Right.
Who else we got?
Go on, you go through them, mate, if you want.
Oh, Andy Irving. I know we haven't bought him this summer, but he's turned up, hasn't he? Stuck one in the top bins pre-season. What are your thoughts on him? I'll be honest, I'd completely forgotten all about him.
Yeah,
I won't say I'm overly excited about him, but he's become a bit of a cult hero after his pre-season goal, hasn't he? Do you reckon he'll get a look in?
No. No, I don't.
Yeah, and you don't not really,
because I think if you're putting Earthy out, right? If you're sending Earthy out, I would rather have seen Irving go out and Earthy stay.
Yeah,
I disagree with that. Like I reckon that Earthy needed to go because he needs minimum like 30 games at somewhere between 70 plus minutes, and he's never going to get that with us. Whereas, is Irving really the future of the club? Probably not. No. He can hang around and give us, 5 games of 10 minutes. Earthy needs more time. So, and I don't know if you guys know, I heard the other day that the head coach at Bristol City he's an ex academy coach, so he knows him quite well.
No, I think it's good for him, but I'm just saying if I was to take one or the other, I'd like to have seen Earthy in this shirt, to be honest.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, but I think if you're looking further than this season, I think it's a better option for him to be.
No, I want it all. I want it all. Right, fuck off. Everything's been happening. I want it all now. All right.
Yeah.
Right, we've got a couple of questions.
All the signings? We talked about all the signings, or have we missed them?
I don't think so.
Okay. So,
there's that many of them.
Do you want any more, or have we got enough?
I think if we can get Fofana, I'd take him all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you take that Carlos? What's his name? The Spanish fellow that they're talking about.
Soler,
yeah.
PSG, yeah. I don't know enough about him, if I'm being honest, but I do know Fofana, and I would take him in a heartbeat. In fact, swap him for Souček.
Yeah.
That's what
I think that's the thing, right? Like, we're at our squad numbers, so like for anyone else to come in, we've got to ship a few out. And I'm praying like hell that the club just does whatever, even if it's like copping a hit to get rid of Zuma. That brings somebody else in. Like, we don't need 4 centre backs at that level. He can go, and maybe a Souček.
There's a few though, isn't there? There's Zuma, there's Ings, probably Souček that you could see going. It'd be interesting.
Mavropanos looks not like he might not be sticking around. Right, we'll take a couple of comments here. We're seeing, but to hear from you, mate. Bowen has been unveiled as club official captain. Fair play, though. Would have preferred Alvarez. I'm so happy with Bowen.
Yeah, me too.
I think he bleeds us at the moment, and I think he's one of them that could get all the team together. And I think that he sets by example. Like, he leads by example. If he's playing well and he's putting it in, he will turn around to the rest of them and say, "You need to fucking do the same." But I do think we've got some really, really good characters in our team now who won't just fuck it off. And I do think that will blend. That will blend really nicely. So very happy for Bowen. James Lambrou. We're all buzzing, guys. Can't wait for the season to start. I'd agree.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a couple, boys?
Yeah, I will do. There's a question from James, actually. Do you think there's any room for Cornet? I'll answer this one. No. There wasn't any room for him last season when we were shit and we had a shit squad. And there's definitely not room for him. How the fuck this guy is still on the peripheral of our team or squad is fucking beyond me. What the fuck has that prick ever done? No, fuck him off. No room for him anywhere.
I think it's got more to do with the fact that no other fucker wants him. So we just can't get rid of him. It's the same as Zuma. You know, they're all worried about his fucking injuries and where the fuck he's actually played for the last 2 years.
I'm not being funny. If you're interested in signing Zuma, don't put him through a medical because he ain't gonna fucking pass.
They should have just sent him away with a fucking packet of Smarties and said, "There you go."
I've seen bigger knees on an ant.
They need to do like exactly what they did with fucking Wilshere all those years ago. Is just pay out his contract and fuck him off. You know, like say thanks for it. Like, I mean, you understand that if they don't have to pay it, they wouldn't. But like, it's just a liability that we don't need.
Yeah, there's a question here from Wazim. What are your predictions? Where do we end up, and what are your expectations? Well, I'll be honest. The way that I'm thinking about this season, right, is last season we were winning games and I was still pissed off and angry. And I'm expecting to lose a few games this season and actually be fucking happy. So I'm not going to say that we're going to fucking finish top 4 or not necessarily top 6. If we're comfortably top half and we are playing well, we're playing exciting football, we're using the squad, we're fucking winning games that we should be winning, we're throwing up the odd surprise here and there, I'll be happy with that, and we're not in Europe, so we can have a good go at the Cups. In terms of predictions, I think top 8 is definitely realistic. My expectations is probably, I don't really have any other than for it to be better than it has been for the last few years, and to have a bit more fucking fun. That's it. And I think we will have more fun.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Nath?
Oh, look, I'd be happy with anything inside the top 10. I reckon is probably realistic. I think that anything above, like 8th maybe it's going to come down to, I think, a little bit of luck really on how we perform in our first 10 games. I was saying to my nephew the other day, he's like, what do you think about Lopetegui and all that? And I was like, well, I'm going to judge him from probably around round 10 onwards, because I think it'll take that long for him to get his style in, and it's going to, hopefully we don't have any injuries early on as well. But if we have a clear run of injuries, maybe we jag, I don't know, say 4 or 5 wins out of our first 10, then I reckon we've got a decent chance of being in that sort of 6, 7, 8 bracket. But if we're in the top 10 for his first season, I'd be very happy with that. And like, it's more about how we're going to play than anything else that I'm excited about.
Yeah. What do you think, Kingy? You won it all, so you're looking at Champions League.
We're winning the league, boys.
You know what? And that's the exciting thing, right? We're not going to win the fucking league, but we could challenge. We could be up in the top 6. You don't know. What do you think?
Right. So expectations, right? My expectation, I want top 6. That's my expectation for how much money we've spent and the players that we got in now. I think we're up there. We can compete with Newcastle. We compete with Villa. Well, I say that we're going to get spanked on Saturday. And then my prediction, I think we will finish in the top 10. I don't know if we'll get higher than that, but we did it a lot last year, right? We would take top 10 and be more excited. And I'm going to stick with that. It wasn't just lip service. I wasn't just saying it. I mean it. Like, as everyone knows, this is an Australian fan channel, even though there's one Australian on it. But we have to get
He's the guy called the
early. We have to get up so early. So early to watch the games. And every week it was copy and paste. You could fucking you could tell what was going to happen every game, and it was boring. It was becoming a job. I hated it, right? But now, as I said, we could be back 3, back 4. Like it can change, and that's what's exciting me. So I reckon prediction it will be top 10. My expectation I'd like top 6.
We're also going to have games back on fucking Saturday night for us as well, right? It's not fucking 1 a.m. on fucking Monday morning. So,
it
small
makes
sacrifice for no Europe, but it does make for some exciting, Brisbane Hammers meetups or whatever as well, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Comment here from Kent Hammers. Morning, Kent. Nice of you to join us and good to see you again. He says Fofana is a must. A tank would improve as he's dynamic, quick, strong.
I thought it said a wank would improve us, but I read it wrong.
Well, it's true, right? You know?
Yeah.
Don't care with no responsibility.
Malkster, did you mention Somerville? Yeah, we did, and we're very excited about him.
Yeah, very impressed with that one.
Kingy's tuk-tuk driver.
Yeah, hey.
Come on, all right.
There's a comment here which I think is from my old fella, Mike Berlin. It says brilliant flag, Bonzo RIP. So look, you probably noticed there's a flag over my shoulder which says Norwich on it, which doesn't really correlate with me or anyone on this channel, but really good friend of mine and the West Ham family passed away a couple of months ago. And this flag was his. My dad sent it over to me, which is why I've got it up flying in the background. So yeah, if anyone was wondering, that's why it's there. And good to have you watching, Dad. And
I thought you just went and bought a tractor.
You what?
I thought you just gone and bought a tractor.
All right, another one from Ken. Anywhere between 8th and 10th. Better brand of football and a good cup run. I think that's all anyone's interested in, really. He's just having a better fucking season, more excitement. And we spoke enough about Moyes last season, and now he's gone. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate everything that he did for us. But there's just an excitement now that wasn't there before. We'll probably end up being fucking shit and finishing 14th, but it'll be more exciting.
I think I prefer a roller coaster. Definitely. I think that's my life. So it goes hand in hand when West Ham are doing the same thing. It's like up, down, up, down. I'm quite happy with that. As long as we're playing a good brand of football. Someone said in there as well, they reckon we'll upset a few of the big boys like Mike. And I agree with that. I just want to see it. Like, could you imagine? We're not leaving London for fucking like 3 months. Right? And we're playing some big teams there. That is going to work in our favour. And I'd love to see us beat Liverpool, not roll over, and Arsenal, we're not rolling over. Like, give these teams a fucking go, because man for man, we've got a fucking good team there now. That first 11 is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree, and even just to have that balance of going, we've got a winger who wants to play on the left, we've got a winger who wants to play on the right. We've got an out-and-out striker who's not been fucking blended into a striker. And then we've got these multiple players that can play 10. That is going to fucking frighten anybody. So we just need to let them go and do their thing, So, and you watch just like in pre-season, we're trying to win the ball higher up the pitch, right? Which is it's a nice thing to see, not just fucking get back into this defensive shape and watch a cock up that's going to happen. And you go, fuck me, like why are we doing that? So, if we lose a ball because we turn it over and we're winning high up the pitch, but we get caught out at the back, that's life, right? Because if you're playing that style, sure as shit, you're going to create more shots on target, which is going to lead to goals. So. That sort of excites me a little bit.
It is scary when you start seeing players trying to play it out from the back, though, isn't it? Because we're not used to it.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if you boys watched the Celta Vigo game, but you watched the second goal that, Aguerd gave up the ball. He just was. It almost looks like he was shit scared to fucking knock it up the line because he's waiting for someone to present to pass it to. So yeah. That's going to happen.
I'm glad that will be Wan-Bissaka receiving the ball and not fucking Souf, from being honest.
Yeah.
That fills me with a little bit more fucking hope. But yeah, Good question so far. Love it. Do you want to like? Obviously, we're not there, so we can't really say anything. I'm sure you lot have signed the petitions and stuff like that. But going on to the concessions, right? What are your thoughts on it?
It's a fucking disgrace. It is an absolute fucking disgrace. It's very, very fucking Sullivan, isn't it? Look, we're getting excited about the team, and rightly so. But as a club, there's still a lot of fucking rotten shit going on, and that it's inexcusable. It's just an absolute fucking disgrace. There's a lot of people that are really, really fucked off about it, and rightly so. The Celta Vigo game was obviously a bit of a fucking stake in the ground as to what everyone thinks.
That's where I got our background from, that game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking. It's just all the empty seats.
What's going to happen?
Not far off it, though.
We were talking about this in the group chat the other day, and as you said, Nathan, he knows that there's going to be plenty of other people snapping up those tickets. He doesn't give a fuck about the West Ham tradition and passing the baton on and the family thing. All he cares about is getting fucking money through the turnstile. And this family football shit that they sold us on moving into this stadium, he's kept up with it, but now the screw's turning.
Yeah.
It's a fucking disgrace, and I don't.
It's just disrespectful, isn't it? Really.
I don't think he'll back down.
No, I don't think he will. I just find it disrespectful more than anything to think that there's so many people that would fucking cut their right arm off to get there, but and they have done so for so long, right? Like they probably sacrifice things, week in, week out, just so that they can afford a ticket for them and their kids and stuff. It's a poor decision because like the amount of revenue that's going to raise for the club. They could have fucking made it back with a sponsor. Like there's other ways to make money in the business and look after your so-called family. It's.
What do you think, Kingy? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, like as you know, I went over there for a few weeks and just followed them in February and March, and the amount of money I spent on tickets and etc. Like because I wouldn't say I'm a tourist because I've supported them all my life, and I've spent plenty of money over the years doing it. But that 3 weeks, the amount that I spent going to the away games, and like I think I did 6 in the end, like away games, Germany, home games, the cup games. It's a lot of money, and I remember talking to my cousin about it, and I was like, I can't see how people do this week in, week out. So then for them to raise it even more and make it even harder. I'll raise up to them people. I think fair play to you if you're going to do it, and things is sacrifice, as you said, Nathan. People will sacrifice it because they love the club, and that's what they've played on. They've played on that, and it ain't fair. It's always going to be horrible not to see kids in the ground. It's going to be horrible not to see older fans because they can't afford to get there anymore. I mean. This is a guy who's got probably the best seat in the house, and I'm sure he's got a free bus pass. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean? But he's done this with everyone, and it's just not fair. But I mean, if you're a subscriber to our channel or any other channel, get onto the petition and make sure you sign it. We've signed it. As we said, we're not there all the time, so it's a little bit harder for us to do anything. But I mean. Yeah, it's just hard. But, hopefully that gets taken over and actually changes. Here we go. James again. I think we should be good enough for European place. 100% agree with that, James. Yes, please do. If you're watching.
Cheers, Mike.
Just hit it a little bit if you can. It always helps.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Message from Budgie. Good morning, guys. From a warm but overcast Gatwick. It's been warm back in England, hasn't it? Recently.
I watched a bit of Budgie's and Kieran's stream this morning, and Budgie's not got like the big fucking headphones anymore. He looks smart, man. It looks smart. I like it. Doing well with your channel there, Budge.
Comment from Wayne Carter. Morning, Wayne, or evening, wherever you are. Hello, fellow Hammers. Expectations are very high. We all understand it may take time to gel. However, I can honestly say that due to our transfers, which are significant improvements, we'll get top 6. Fuck, look, it's not beyond the realms of possibility at all. And that's the optimism you want and need at the start of the season. It's doable. Like I said before, top 10 and progress I'd be happy with, but top 6 it's doable.
And a couple of wins against Spurs.
Yeah. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, they're shit. They've just fucking spunked 65 million on Solanke. Who's just retired from winning trophies for the rest of his fucking life. Definitely. What else we got? Ken Hammers not out of London for the first 10 games. Fucking hell, I didn't realise that. Nottingham Forest away. Shit. So when that must be what, October? November maybe?
Yeah, I think it's
end of October or something.
Is it after the Brentford game, I think? Is that Brent we're away, but then I think we move out after that. I think maybe. Or might be a couple more after
that. Next, this is my dad again. 1,200 geezers at his funeral. He's talking about Gary Bonzo Williams. I actually watched the funeral from here, which is surreal. I've never watched it on YouTube, actually. I've never watched a funeral via video before, and it was just fucking full. The church was absolutely full, which shows how much he was liked by everybody. But yeah, it was good. Fucking rest in peace, Gary. Wayne Carter, 23 watching.
Wayne's becoming a new favourite of mine. Wayne's becoming a new favourite.
Well, he's got the number around the wrong way now. It's 32 people live.
You know what? I'll be honest. I messaged Kingy before and I said, look, it's the first one of the season. We might not get many people watching. Let's just pre-record it and stick it out there. And he said, nah. People will come and watch. And
if you build it, people come. I'm telling you.
So look, thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone. Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
It's good, and it always makes the conversation better than having to speak to these two boring bastards all the time.
Fuck off.
But yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, let's talk about the Villa game. So, what are your predictions for the first game of the Premier League season?
It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard, but I'm going to go straight out there and say we're going to win 4-1.
4-1? Fucking hell.
I reckon it's going to be 2-2. I reckon we're going to concede 1 or 2, but I think with that front four, we're going to at least generate enough opportunity to bang a couple in.
Yeah, I'm going because I went to the last game when we played them at London Stadium. We had that goal disallowed from last second. Took fucking 8 minutes to go through. I think we don't need to rely on that anymore. We always relied on that last ditch attempt. I think we will take them. I think we'll go 3-1. I'm going 3-1.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time that we had a convincing opening win day. Like just going, but the last one in my head is probably Arsenal away that I can think of. We always have a shit first game. We always fucking draw with some shit. I think we're going to win. I think we'll win the first couple.
I tell you what, you fucking know one thing's for sure. We'll be entertained. Like, we're not sitting there trying to fucking nick a 1-0 win with 20% of the fucking ball, are we?
The other thing I want to talk about, we're going to rate the kits.
Oh yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, obviously. So we've got the third kit, we've got the away kit, and we've got this one. What are we going?
The home kit is
out of 10. Out of 10.
The home kit is a fucking 10. It's the nicest kit.
Yeah.
I've actually considered buying it. I went on the Umbro site.
Yeah.
And they don't have it in my size.
Are we judging this with or without the green jelly bean?
I'm holding it away, mate.
Oh, it's fucking mustard, the home kit, isn't it? It is absolutely beautiful.
It's the collar. I love the collar.
I normally couldn't give a shit about kits, but that home kit is a thing of beauty.
10?
So 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, Knife?
Yeah, I actually like them all, but home kit specifically, really, really impressed with it. And I like it how you've got it without the badge. The sponsorship on the front. That makes it even better. It's good. 9.95, I reckon. You got to take a little bit off for the jelly bean.
I know. The thing is, right, Villa had the same last year, and they did a white one. Fucking bastards.
Yeah.
The away kit, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I like it. It's a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And the detailing, because I got that as well, and the detail in the church and the buildings and stuff like that is tops. I like it. I'm not too. It's not as nice a material as the home, but I'll take it as I did. What do you reckon, Nath?
No, I like it. I think it's one of those ones that once you see it and touch it and feel it, so you can see all the, the detail that's gone into it, you'd be more impressed with it. But I'm a sucker for a black kit. I love it.
Yeah. Third kit, the white one.
I'm not, as I said to you, I'm not a fan of the gold fucking triangle on the collar. Yeah, it's all right. It'll do.
But the thing is, there's a lot of detail in it. It's like an old 90s kit. Like when you actually look at a white down, it's got all the old Umbro signs and stuff. The detail of it is really nice. But I'll wait on the next one because it should be here next week. So
if you compare it to last year or the year before, right? Like there was that blue kit that we put out last year. I thought that was fucking dross. But
horrible.
This year, you got 3 kits that look they're all really, really good. If somebody bought me one as a present, I'd be happy with any of them, Because if someone bought me that blue one last year, I'd be fucking looking to give it away to someone else.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have the best home kit in the league. Yes, I agree, mate. In fact, I think I think it was voted as 6th, but I'll take it.
It's nice. It's nice.
Budgie just made a good point here. Hang on,
sorry, mate. I took it away.
I like the idea of the fur kit. The gold flashes are a tribute to David Gold and his daughter. Yeah. I like that. I think he deserves that. It's the other one I don't like.
The poison dwarf.
Yeah, but I mean, we've nearly gone for an hour. We'll go for another couple of minutes.
Yeah. I reckon so.
I feel like we've still got lots more to talk about,
That Nickerman's put up. So he says he's backed the Hammers at 6-1 for the top 6, and then Wayne's asking if they're the real odds. So, look, if they are, that's reasonable. That's worth putting a few quid on, or a few dollars if you're over here. Not saying that it will happen, but it might.
Keep going.
What else we got? So
keep going.
Sorry, go on.
Someone asked, out of all the signings, it was Mark Jarvis. Which one excites you the most?
Somerville.
I'd say Somerville.
Yeah.
Somerville, for sure.
I reckon that's a fair shout.
That's the sort of footballer we've been crying out for. It has to be him.
Yeah, it's difficult to say that. I think from what I've seen so far, I agree with you. But I think Wan-Bissaka is going to be fucking great as well. But we just haven't seen him in the shirt yet. And also Tadibo will be fucking fast as well. I reckon. So,
yeah.
But what a great problem to have. You're not sure who your best signing is because you haven't seen 2 of them already.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Do you reckon any of them are going to underwhelm you?
I don't know why.
You can't say Fotheringham either.
I've got a feeling, as much as I picked it up earlier, the Fulkrug one, it could be one or the other.
Yeah. Agreed. I think if there was 2 I was going to pick, it would be him and Kilman, maybe.
Yeah.
But it could go either way with both of them. I said before, I think Fulkrug could be the star signing, and I'll stick by it.
Oh,
But he
yeah,
could go
definitely. I
with
want him to succeed. It's just we have not had much luck with strikers, but we haven't played the way that Lopetegui wants to play.
Yeah.
So,
well, to be honest with you, I didn't see that much in the Celta Vigo game that really excited me about him. But at the same time, that's when he had like Ward-Prowse and Souček in the middle with him. So he's not really like getting much of an opportunity to stay high and feed off a decent pass coming in. So, but
yeah,
it was just sort of like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a couple of comments that have come through just around predictions for the Villa game, so I'll just flash through them. James says 2-2. Kent Hammers reckons 3-2 West Ham, open heart attack football.
We'll take
Zach,
it. Take that.
3-1 West Ham. Kudus brace. Fulkrug off the bench. James says Fulkrug score on his debut. 2-1 West Ham. 3-2 West Ham. 2-1. So look, everyone's optimistic. We
ain't losing, are we?
How's this for optimism?
and Nick Mang says he's going to buy a new tuk-tuk if we finish top 6.
I'm coming back to Bali. I wasn't going to.
You must have done some miles on the last one, mate.
Matt will buy one for you.
Yeah, Matt, he said you'll buy one, yeah.
Just going back to your shirt, Kingy. Don't like any of them because of the green snot ball on the sleeve. You can buy them over here from Umbro, Australia, without the green shit on. But Kingy didn't know that before he bought his. So he's looking for a way to get it off now.
This is the thing with me. I'm still like a kid when it comes to kits. As soon as it comes out, I'm like, I want it now. So that's why I did it. And then when everyone was saying, oh, you can get it, I was like, fuck. But I don't care. I'm happy. I've got that little bit of lotion that I'm gonna stick on it, my lube, and I'll get it off.
On what? On your shirt?
Oh yeah, on my shirt.
Comment here from Early Doors Football TV. Morning, gents. First time on the channel. Subbed and liked. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
Thanks for watching. We'll have to check you out as well.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Fuck, you can read that one out, Nave.
Don't need to. Imagine when Sully does, we have a dildo on the shirt. Could be a pair of them, right?
Could you imagine the video that the press team will put out? That'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it?
It's fucking great, wouldn't it? Well, there's loads of comments coming through, and thank you very much. We can't get through them all, but it's great to see so much fucking interaction.
It's good to be back. Really good to be back.
It is. Stan Massive says we need to keep up the pressure with regards to the concessions. They're giving ground, and we need to push them further. Sign the petition, absolutely. If you haven't done it already, make sure you do. What else have we got in here? Lots of comments around the Villa score. Everyone's predicting us to win, which is great. And look, it's exciting, isn't it? It's good to be back. It's good to have a bit of fucking optimism, a bit of unknown, which is something that you don't get with Moyes. It's great. It's exciting. I can't wait. And even after we get beat 4-0 on Saturday night, I'll still be excited.
Definitely.
You said 4-1 earlier, so
no. After we get beat 4-0.
How hard is it? The thing is, again, we've been mugged off with time. We've got it 2:30 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's shit. It's shit, isn't it? But you look at the season as a whole. We've got a lot more Saturday games. We've got a couple of 9:30 Saturday night games, which are fucking like a unicorn for us over here. You can actually get out and watch a game when you're not shit-faced and remember it.
And West Ham are playing Chelsea on my birthday, 9:30.
On your birthday. Yeah.
Happy days. Anyway, Nate, you wanted to talk about a couple of other things, mate. What did you want to talk about?
Oh, fuck. I've had a few wines now. I can't really remember what else I wanted to talk about. Can you remind me?
No, you didn't tell me. I won't be able to do that.
No, I think we've covered most of the things, like predictions. We talked about that. We talked about all the new signings, where we think like who's going to go well, who's not going to go well, who's going in, who's going out. yeah, I think we're pretty good. I reckon we've covered most of it. Just don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Hopefully, Dave's with us on Monday when we debrief about the game.
Talking about our first win of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it looks like we've got a few new people anyway that are watching us. So I'll tell you how we normally roll. So we normally do this interactive show at this time every week, and we also do a pub show. So we get together in a pub, we set up our studio, and we do a pint, sit around a table, and talk about the game from the night before. So something that we like to do. It keeps us interested, and we've enjoyed doing it so far. We've only done it for one season, so obviously, as you can see, the subscribers aren't as high as what we would like, but fucking hell, we're proud of what we've done so far. But if anyone hasn't liked and subscribed, please, as every channel tells you, it helps with the algorithm and it pushes us forward. So if you've enjoyed us, we've got one missing. Dave is normally here as well. But we're happy. We're ready for Villa. We've had a blinding transfer window and we ain't going to get much better than that. So one thing left to say.
Come on, you Irons.
Thanks, boys.
See you all, lads.
See everyone. See everyone in the chat.
See you later. Thanks for watching.
All right. Bye-bye. Boom.